My colleagues, Anna and Akshay. Anna and Akshay both work for KPMG Future Analytics. They're very experienced and they've been very helpful and very good to work with in terms of the work we're doing. Very much so in the area of working package 4, and here they've been driving the e-learning tool. So what we're going to do is listen to very much so to Anna present very much so the e-learning tool, how it complements the platform and how it can help those go forward. And Akshay will then give a demonstration of the e-learning tool as well. So I now give the floor to Anna. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you for the introduction and for the nice words. I hope everyone can hear me well.
Yeah, we're fine, Anna. We're fine.
Fantastic. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us at this final day of the STAIR4SECURITY event. I'm here presenting on behalf of our team in KPMG Future Analytics, and I'll be presenting with my colleague Akshay, who's a senior software developer and who've been really great to help us on this project and to design the e-learning tool supporting the platform. Just a few words about ourselves. KPMG Future Analytics is a consultancy that has been recently acquired by the KPMG Ireland group. We work on a large portfolio of European projects, and we specialize in delivering technical solutions such as knowledge and training platforms, dashboards, and others. And we also work quite closely on engagement, outreach, and exploitation strategies for many European projects. What I want to do very briefly today is to walk you through the work that we have carried out for the STAIR4SECURITY learning tool, give you a little bit of an overview as to what are the objectives, what we aim to achieve, and how we realized that work over the last year and a half with our colleagues from the consortium. So just a very brief overview, the learning objective of the e-learning tool here is to enable the delivery of course material and instructions electronically. And that material can be created either by the consortium or by different institutions. However, it's hosted by the e-learning tool, and it's in that way we're creating a resource hub for practitioners and policymakers operating within the CBRN and DRR sectors. As part of the consortium, the e-learning tool is part of the STAIR4SECURITY ecosystem, as also mentioned by Tom earlier today and also yesterday. And our primary objective is to deliver tailor-made tutorials, highlighting how separate features of the platform can be used to accomplish different phases of the pre-standardization process. Other course material that we have on the e-learning tool is revolving around standardization, standardization for beginners, that is, and other material in CBR and DRR in terms of training or best practice material. Some of the key features of the e-learning tool, and as Tom mentioned, we will demonstrate later on in this session. But just a quick overview, we have access restrictions, so most of the material is available only upon enrollment, and that would be the courses relevant to the STAIR4SECURITY platform, standardization for beginners, and course material for CBRN and DRR. We have a prototype color coding for the e-learning tool for each of the course materials, indicating whether that course is suitable for beginners or it would require more experienced participants in order to understand. We have focused on delivering a lot of interactive content to make sure that the e-learning tool is in fact not just a catalog of information, but also allows beginners to understand and to interact with it properly. So we have a lot of video content, maps, links to other materials and redirections, just to make sure that the participants are happy to use the e-learning tool in the longer run. And of course, what is pertinent to the e-learning tool as a whole is just we have course advancement and completion percentage and course completion tick boxes, so the participants can keep track on their progress using the e-learning tool. As I mentioned earlier, we have most of the material is available upon enrollment. So everything that is linked to the platform, to standardization and CBRNe DRR is has to be done upon enrollment. But we also have a resource hub which collects publicly available material, but in a very generic Wikipedia level base, and that does not require any enrollment. I would like to walk you very quickly through what's within each course material before I leave the floor to Akshay, who will show you in a little bit more of detail. The first and foremost, I want to show you, to talk to you a little bit more about what's with the largest course, which is the introduction to the STAIR4SECURITY platform. We have worked closely with Patricia and our colleagues in NUIG to make sure that the learning tool is really linked to the platform in every way possible. But we also wanted to make sure that it is more than just showcasing different features of it. It is actually taking a proactive approach, and it's answering specific questions that practitioners and policymakers may have while navigating through the pre-standardization process. So on your right-hand side, and I hope that would be easy enough to read, we have 5 specific sections with 5 specific questions within each section within that course material, and we have provided answers for each of those questions. So as you can see, we're focusing on a very preliminary assessment. Are you ready to submit your outputs? There is no criteria that we have put together as such, but we just offer an overall ideas to what practitioners need to do in order to be able to use the platform and to take full advantage of the great features that it represents. The second part is identification and development of resources. That's pretty self-explanatory, but it touches on the different functions of the platform and allows practitioners to understand how can that add value to their work. How to engage with experts in my field. That's a really critical aspect for our work, both from the platform point of view, but also for, of course, for the overall objectives of the project. How to add value and disseminate my outcomes. This is yet another really important aspect of the pre-standardization, and something that we pay particular attention to in order to make sure that we have a really high quality pre-standardization process in place. And last but not least, the assessment of standardization readiness levels. And that is an interesting, quite an interesting section of the e-learning tool, because it offers an overview not only assessing the standardization levels as a whole, but also giving different options as to what can be done with the results. So that's a very, very brief overview as to what's within that section, and actually I would show you with a little bit more detail later on. The other course that it was, I believe Luigi mentioned yesterday, standardization for beginners. It's a course that we deem to be really important for the learning tool and for the practitioners and all the networks that we have been discussing this with. We have taken, again, quite an interactive approach. We wanted to make sure that there are very specific steps that practitioners can take in order to get to the high level of pre-standardization, so they have a clear view as to which organizations to contact and how to contact them. What we have created is a reference map, which you can see at the bottom, which basically gives an overview of all the standardization organizations in Europe, and redirects to their websites, email addresses, and contact people that you can get in touch with just to discuss your product or your outcome. Obviously, there are also video materials, presentations, and other aspects that you'll be able to see shortly. Yeah, so we thought providing obviously a mapping. I already talked you briefly through those aspects, but just to have an overview as to what is within these two sections of the tool. As you can see, they both start with introduction. There is the main part, which on STAIR4SECURITY platform would be the video tutorials, and on standardization we have various definitions, why participate, how to get involved, and the better practice route. We generally have success stories towards the end of each course, just to make sure that it's clear what can be achieved when using the platform and through standardization as a whole. And overall community aspects, which are different systems, collaborations, reference to different websites, magazines, blogs, forums, whatever it could be. And also for the STAIR4SECURITY platform, we have governance and sustainability of the ecosystem, which is also something that our colleague Patricia would touch upon at a later session today. Very briefly also through the CBRN DRR part. So we have gathered by ourselves and by collaborating closely with the consortium and network, the vast network of sister projects that we have, what would be national, European, and international best practice materials, which are all being referenced in the designated CBRN DRR sections. We have also linked all kinds of ongoing initiatives, training, journals, and communications within the field, making sure that we have what would be up-to-date overview of ongoing work within those sectors. And again, we try to have it's directed to beginners. So we also have some material which is radiation basics or material like that, which just provides an overall understanding of what CBRN and DRR actually is. And again, just a very, very quick mapping here. As you can see, we have for both courses, we have some overview, and that could also be different glossaries, facts and figures, just generic information as to what CBRN and DRR reality is. We have different resources, applications, different platforms that we're using. We are referring quite strongly to work carried out by sister projects, which could be trainings, materials, reports, various deliverables really from other EU projects. And we have what would be other helpful resources. So journals, blogs, or anything, upcoming events and news, any such material that can be deemed useful by practitioners. And I think that's very quickly an overview as to what I wanted to just introduce before Akshay demonstrates the tool. So I actually leave the floor to him, and he can walk you through what we have been working on with a little bit more of detail. Thank you.
Joanna.
Thanks.
Hope everyone can see my screen now.
Yes.
Yes, we can see it.
Brilliant. So this is the look and feel of the e-learning tool under STAIR4SECURITY. So what we have done is we have divided the entire e-learning platform under courses, lessons, topics, and subtopics. So I'll walk you through the whole process when I show you one of the example of one of the courses. The entire e-learning platform is divided under, as Anna had already mentioned, is divided under public section and the private section. So public section consists of all the information that is available in the sense of public, that is not binded by any laws or can be shared easily over the internet. And private section consists of all the information that is only limited to few people or to the group of standards, group of people from standardization community. So, when you enter into the platform, what you can do is, first, there are two steps. First, you have to log in order to access the private sector. And the second step is, if you don't have login access and if you only want to gain access to the public section, you can log in as a guest and you can view the content that way. So, as well, that another way of identifying whether it's a public content or a private content is through this particular icon over here, which is in unlocked state at the moment. So you can see that this section is available publicly and you don't require any login access to it. So let's say if I go into one of these details, so it will prompt you to either log in or log in as a guest to view the public section. So you can log in as guest and it will take you to the particular course, and within that particular course you have topics or lessons, and within each lesson you have topics. So let's say European projects and policy is the title, and then within that you have general introduction and few information around that. So that way we have divided into like the EU projects in policy, standardization, success stories, and few references that we around the project. So each of these lesson can consist of different files. So it can be something like a text-based content, it can be a PDF, it can link to an external website, or it can also have some of the videos or images within the lessons. So one by one, I'll show you each and every kind of demonstration, and and you will also see these different types of files when we are viewing the other courses as well. So let's say if I want to know more about the budgetary and policy, so I just click on this one and I can see that there is a video inside, and we have some information around the video or the title of the video of what it is about, and you can read more about over here by clicking on this particular link. So you can even play the video within the environment, and you can kind of listen to the content. I'm pretty much sure that you don't want to show the entire video. Moving on. So the other things that you can see is within standardization, we conducted few interviews. There are some other resources from other partners, and that can be viewed over here as well. So let's see if I want to just show project 2. One of the other European projects, so I can just show that, and I can show what this project is all about, and I can view the entire video and stuff like that. So moving on to the login part, like to the private area. So if I log in into the environment, so what I will see is something like this. I have already logged in to save time. So you can see something like this, and now you will have access to each of these courses, including the resource hub, which is already available in public. And when you click on one of these courses, it will take you within the content, and it will show you again the same style, the lessons and the topics. And you can see now we have sub lessons or subtopics as well for each of them. And as we scroll down, you can see some content within them. So like I mentioned earlier, so we also have images and video. I think I already demonstrated the video part. So this is one of the content of images. And as well, we have a dynamic content wherein we have a map of Europe listing all the standardization bodies known to us at the time. And then we also have success stories over here at the bottom. So if I want to, let's say, if I scroll back up over here, and if I want to view some of the content, like I want to know what is European standards and what, and then I can kind of read into each of this particular detail of it. I want to know what are the technical specification, or what is the technical specification within an European standard. I can read some text around that. And if I want to view some content or let's say more about the technical specification, I can view the flowchart, which can be which is within a PDF file, and you can browse through the entire content or the flowchart of the file. Now, another important thing that I would like to highlight is that this is a prototype, and what we have come up with is a kind of a legend, which you can see over here on the right-hand side. And within this legends, we say that the content is suitable for beginners, whether the content is suitable for first responders and practitioners, or the content is suitable for policymakers and elected officials who are working within the field of CBRN or DRR. So we try to kind of classify a few of the contents, but this is again a prototype and not something that is set in stone and cannot be changed. So as you can see, we have an yellow marker on next to each and every topic or next to each and every lesson. So that means that that particular topic or that particular lesson is the content within that is suitable for beginners. There is some other things that you can see over here as well. Some of the other features. One, that how many students have enrolled for this particular course, or how many people would have access. We can say that way, and then each and every person who have enrolled or who have been given access to this particular course can view the content, and what they can do is they can also track the progress of at what level they are within the particular course or within the particular topic. So the dotted line indicates that I have not yet started reading about this particular topic or subtopic. And when you see a complete kind of symbol over here, it means that I've completed this particular topic or this particular section within the whole course. So as you can see, if I scroll down, you can see other areas that I have not yet completed or that has been newly added for me to review. But there are some of them which I've already completed. So you can see over there as a best example that I can give. Now, you can also compare within like how many people have, so let's say if I'm the course creator or content creator, I can see how many people have attempted or how many people have completed this particular thing. So you can see at the moment, none of them has completed it because for maybe any XYZ reason, but that is something, additional helpful information that you can see over there. So we also have something like coming down over here to the European map and standardization bodies. So as you can see, you can zoom into the map and you can see some of the examples over here. So say, for example, if I want to know the standardization body within Ireland, I can see, I can click on this blue pin, and then I can view the information about this particular standardization body, and you can see I have the website, I have some of the details about them and stuff like that. Another example, if I would like to take, would be Texas Spain. So this is one of the other organizations that we have, and then this is the content or website if I want to quickly view on that. So moving on to another section. So let's say if I want to return back to my course, I can go over here in home, and I can view all the other courses that are assigned to me. If there is also another feature that we have, two other features that we have. One is the events, wherein we can view all the events within STAIR4SECURITY platform. I'm 100% sure we won't have anything at the moment, but then yes, definitely this is another feature to the site or to the e-learning tool that has been added. Moving on to, let's say, using the STAIR4SECURITY platform. So over here, as you can see, we have the content, and we also have something like slide over here. So if I want to show you something like this, you can view that. So you can just click and move within the slides, and you can look at the content and you can read through them. So things like that is also possible within the entire e-learning platform. And as I scroll through, so we have kind of provided some more additional resources, additional information around each and every section within that particular course. So again, like if you want to know more about governance, you can just click on this and you can view the plan around the sustainability plan. You can read around the PDF file. So coming back to the original course. Just one other thing that I would like to as well showcase is the CBRN part. So over here you can see we have courses around CBRN. Again, we have repeated the legends on the right hand side. And then as you can scroll down, you can see the content. And now you can see an orange dot. And as per my legend, you can see that it is the material is suitable for first responders and practitioners. So that's what it highlights. And then you can scroll down and you can look at the content and you can read through them. So that's all from my end today. If you have any queries, please do ask us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Akshay, for this overview. That was excellent. I just want to, if we can go on the previous slide, please. Thank you. I just wanted to wrap up this session with a few of our ongoing considerations and something that you may have questions on yourself after having seen all the work carried on the e-learning tool. So first and foremost, what we have been working with our colleagues at NUIG is to make sure that the platform and the e-learning tool have the same authentication process, or in other words, they're using the same username and password to facilitate access and interoperability. As Patricia mentioned yesterday, the platform will we require validation process for every person who registers. So in order to simplify the process, we would just directly link with the platform to ensure that everyone who has been granted access to the platform has an automatic access to the e-learning tool. And another thing that I think it was Tom who touched upon yesterday is the fact that the material for the platform, obviously aside, all the other material is almost all the other material is existing material. So different other tools, reports, deliverables that have been developed by other organizations. So our objective is to build on the existing research and on the existing state of the art, and ensure the advancement in the field that way. And last but not least is what we want to point out, that we don't necessarily endorse any of the materials available. We inform users that such courses exist, and that disclaimer can also be found on the e-learning tool. I think that's everything from our side. I want to thank you all so much for your time and attention this morning. And please, if you have any questions, submit them through the Q&A and we'll answer those. Or if you prefer following up with us directly, you can see our emails on the screen in front of you. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Akshay. We're going to go, before we proceed, I'm going to run the poll now, if that's possible. Can you get that? We run the poll now. We see where we are now. Right in front of us, we have a question. Based on what you've seen, how likely is it that you will use the STAIR4SECURITY e-learning tool? We do that straight away, if that's possible now. So we'll give you probably around, I think 60 seconds should cover it. It's not an intense poll, but I think it's important that we get some feedback from you on that at this stage. So yeah, while you're doing that, what we will also do is that in the Q&A session, if you're interested in playing with the probably wrong word to use, but you're interested in playing with the e-learning tool, let us know, please. Drop your email or details into the Q&A session. We pick it up. Likewise for the platform. As of yesterday, I think that's a method that we can do is try to start engaging very much so with you who are the audience today, to see what your thoughts are beyond this event. Bear in mind too, we'll also put the presentations that were there recorded up on the website, and likewise from today too. And likewise, we will put them on the e-learning tool as well. So the information will be there for you to look at later on after this event's out of the way. Okay, so that's how we close it down now, and we get the results, please. All right, there's a bit of a mix. I think it's likely we have 44% and 48%. Somewhat likely, but I think that's fair at this stage. We go further. I'd just like to repeat again before we move to the next presentation. Thank you for that. We can close that. I think the important thing is that we've now seen from a very interesting event yesterday the platform, and the platform is king, and this is a supporting tool. It's supporting very much so the pre-standardization, but it's also going to promote how to effectively use the platform going forward. That's further down the line. So I think you're going to find this tool extremely useful and supportive as we move forward with the advancement of where we are today.